My name's Lauren, and I'm going to be your nurse today. So, Terry, I saw on your chart here that you're a smoker and that you also have asthma. So can you just, is it all right if we talk about your smoking?
Yes, I don't really see why, but
sure. Okay, thanks for being open to that. So can you just tell me more about your smoking, like how much you usually smoke, what times you do that at?
Well, I've been smoking since I was 14, and I smoke 2 packs a day, so I smoke just about whenever I can get a chance because it just relaxes me, and it's what I like to do.
Okay, and I see that you have asthma, so do you think that that's something that correlates with your smoking?
I guess. I have been, really short of breath lately, and I cough all the time, and I guess maybe that has something to do with my smoking. I don't really know.
Can you tell me a little more about how the coughing and the asthma and things that you think might be related to your smoking kind of affect how you function and how you go about your day?
Well, at work, sometimes it's hard because I get winded and, I can't really do as much as I was able to. And I get sinus infections all the time, so I'm constantly calling in to work sick because I can't go and get other people sick.
Mm-hmm. That must be hard and kind of frustrating for you.
Yeah, it is, especially when, I was I was hospitalized about 2 months ago, and so I missed a lot of work then, and just really needing the money right now.
Yeah, definitely. So from what you're telling me, your cigarette use is above normal limits, and it's something that I'm a little concerned about. Would it be okay if I offered you some advice about ways that I think you could kind of help that and maybe start feeling better?
Sure.
Okay, and I'm just offering this to you to help you feel better. I know it's not always comfortable or the easiest thing to talk about, but I really appreciate you sitting down with me today. So can we maybe talk about, have you thought about cutting back on your smoking at all?
No, not at all.
No? Okay. And so would you say you were willing at all to think about cutting back on smoking or think about quitting?
Not really. Besides the asthma, it hasn't really caused me any problems, and my depression's a bigger deal to me than smoking, so I use smoking to try to cut down on the depression.
Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, 0 to 10, 0 being not now, no way you would think about it, and to 10 being you're ready to quit smoking now, would you be able to rate that for me on a scale of 0 to 10?
Like a 1, probably.
A 1? Okay, so let's just talk about some things that you think are pros and cons of you smoking. So let's talk about some pros that you find when you smoke.
Well, when I smoke, it's easier for me to relax. It takes my stress away.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, I've been doing it for so long, it just makes me feel better.
Okay, are there any other cons or any other pros that you have other than the fact that it makes you feel better? Or is that the main one for you?
That's the main one.
And I know you said it helps. It is a way that you kind of deal with your depression that you have.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about some cons to your smoking? Is there anything that it kind of inhibits you from doing or things that it gets in the way of?
Well, my asthma, I guess it's causing that. My brother, he has a 10-year-old, and I really like to spend time with my niece, but he won't let me smoke around her. So it's kind of hard whenever I smoke so much, and, we don't really get to spend a lot of quality time. And I have lung cancer in my family. My dad died of lung cancer when he was 66, so that's kind of, in the back of my mind sometimes.
And did he smoke as well?
Yeah.
Okay, and what about your mom? Did she ever have any problems with lung cancer?
No, my mom doesn't smoke, and she never had lung cancer.
Okay, so what I hear you saying is that you really wish you would be able to spend more time with your niece, and that you feel like your smoking may be getting in the way of that since your brother doesn't want you smoking around him. So maybe that could be something that you really kind of focus on if you start to think about cutting back on your smoking is, you'd be able to spend more time with her, and that could be something that would really help you to have that motivator. So also, are there any hobbies that you have, anything that if you did decide to start cutting back on your smoking, you could kind of use to fight those urges to smoke?
I guess I like to exercise sometimes, or
do you find when you exercise that it kind of helps relieve those feelings of sadness and depression that you kind of try to use the smoking to cope with?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I exercise, it helps me deal with my stress and kind of relieves some of that stress. That's really helped.
That's really good. I think exercising is a great way to deal with all sorts of stress and things like that. So, do you think that there's, does that change your mind at all about wanting to cut back, or your confidence that you have in your ability to cut back if you decided you wanted to do that?
I mean, I don't know. It would be so hard. I don't know. I don't know if I could do it. But I guess if I exercised more, maybe. But, it is hard to exercise when you have asthma. So I guess it would make it a little bit easier. But I don't know. I'm just so stressed out, and I'm scared my depression's going to come back. So it makes me really nervous to think about quitting.
Yeah, that's definitely understandable. Would you be able to rate that again on that scale from 0 to 10, on the confidence you have in yourself that you would be able to cut back or quit smoking?
Well, I mean, I guess like a 5, because I have been able to kind of beat my depression, so maybe this is something that I could beat too. I just have never really thought about it before.
Yeah, that's great that you're confident that if that's something you decided you wanted to do, that you would be able to pull through and carry that out. Because from what I've been hearing is you have a lot of things that might benefit you. If you stop smoking, you'd be able to spend more time with your niece. Maybe that would decrease those asthma symptoms you've been having. So you could exercise and be able to enjoy that more if you cut back on those things. So other than we talked about your niece and we talked about exercising and stuff, is there anything like internally, maybe something that helped you when you were battling with depression that you think would help you to quit smoking or help you want to make that change?
I mean, I don't know. I know I could do it. I just don't know if I really want to. That's it's been working for me right now, so it's kind of hard to try to change what's working.
Yeah, that's understandable, and I know having that fear that it may trigger your depression or you might kind of relapse back into that is definitely a scary thought. But it's good that you're able to talk about it and be more open about some of the pros and some of the cons that you have with that, I think that's very good, and it's a great first step for you to make. Okay, so thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me. I think it's great that you're being open, like I said before. And can we schedule a time for us to be able to talk again and maybe reassess how willing you are to start cutting back?
Sure.
Okay, that sounds great. We'll go out front and we'll do that.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. Okay, so thank you so much for sitting down and talking with me. I think it's great that you're being open, like I said before. And can we schedule a time for us to be able to talk again and maybe reassess how willing you are to start cutting back?
Sure.
Okay, that sounds great. We'll go out front and we'll do that.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.